All right, let's talk about something pretty incredible, the digital eye. I mean, we're talking about the technology that gives our devices the power to see, to read, to understand, and make sense of the world, kind of like we do.
I mean, have you ever really thought about how your phone does that? You point it at a sign in another language and boom, instant translation. Or you snap a picture of a messy receipt and it just magically pops into your expense app. Well, that's not magic. It's got a name.
Yep, it's called Optical Character Recognition, or OCR for short. And really, at its heart, it's pretty simple. It's the tech that teaches computers how to read. It's what turns all those little dots, the pixels in a picture, into actual text that we can search, copy, and work with.
But here's the thing. This isn't some brand new invention. The journey to get here is actually a really cool story. We're talking decades of evolution, from these huge clunky machines to the super smart AI that you and I carry around in our pockets every single day. So, the basic idea was actually kicking around way back in the 1940s, but things got really interesting in 1965. That's when IBM showed off a machine that could read handwritten numbers, which was a huge deal. Then, fast forward to the 80s and 90s, and it's being used for massive jobs like digitizing census data. But the real revolution? That happened in the last 10 years or so. That's when deep learning, fueled by those powerful GPUs we all know, just blew the doors off everything and gave OCR this almost superhuman accuracy.
Okay, so how does this stuff actually work? How do you teach a computer to read? Well, it turns out there are basically two different ways to do it, the old way and the new way.
The old way was, well, it was really rigid. You literally had to teach the computer the rules for every single letter. You'd tell it, okay, an R is one straight line down, a loop at the top, and a diagonal line. Super specific. The new way, though, is completely different. It's more like how a person learns. Instead of giving it rules, we just show it millions and millions of examples of the letter R, and the AI figures out the pattern for itself.
And here you can actually see that old method in action. Look at how it breaks down the letters. It's seeing the R and the E, not as whole letters, but as a collection of basic shapes, what they called primitives. So you've got lines, you've got curves, you've got angles. It's all very logical, very geometric. But you can probably guess it's also incredibly brittle.
Now compare that to the modern approach. This is an artificial neural network. It's kind of modeled after the human brain. Instead of those strict rules, you have all these layers of interconnected digital neurons. When an image of a letter comes in, the first layer might spot simple edges. The next layer puts those edges together into curves and corners. The layer after that sees letter fragments, and so on, until the final layer goes, aha, that's an R. It's all about recognizing patterns, not following a checklist.
So, okay, we've got the old rule-based way versus the new learning-based way. What's the actual difference? When the rubber meets the road.
Well, this is the difference. On the one hand, you've got these perfect, clean, uniform numbers. The old systems were pretty good at that. But then you look at this, actual, free-flowing, kind of messy human handwriting. The old rule-based systems, no chance. They would just completely fall apart. But the new neural networks, they can handle that incredible variation. In fact, they kind of thrive on it.
And that massive leap in what's possible is why OCR isn't just some niche tech anymore. It's everywhere. It's like this invisible force that's running in the background, powering so much of our daily lives. No, seriously. You're using it all day long, and you probably don't even notice. When you deposit a check with your phone, that's OCR. When you get a package delivered and they scan the label, OCR. When Google Maps reads a street sign, you guessed it.
And the impact on big industries is just massive. We're talking about a total transformation for fields like banking, healthcare, logistics, even law. Think about all the mind-numbing manual data entry that people used to do. OCR is automating a huge chunk of that, freeing people up to do more important work.
So let's get specific. What does this actually look like day to day for businesses? Well, you've got things like automatically processing mountains of invoices, or verifying your ID for a new account, that whole Know Your Customer, or KYC process. That's OCR reading your license. It's managing contracts, transcribing medical records, digging through historical documents, even detecting fraud. At the end of the day, it's all about one thing, turning a dumb picture into smart, structured data you can actually use.
And get this, the accuracy today is just insane. We're talking over 95% accuracy for a lot of tasks. In some cases, it's actually more accurate than a human doing the same repetitive job. And that level of reliability is exactly why it's become so fundamental to how so many businesses run.
But it's not perfect, not yet.
As amazing as it is, the story isn't over. So let's talk about the future, because there are still some really tough nuts to crack and some incredible new frontiers to explore.
Right now, the big challenge is what experts call text in the wild. Think about trying to read a crumpled sign or a blurry photo of a billboard taken from a moving car. That's really, really hard. But looking ahead, the goals are even bigger. Imagine making all of our historical archives completely searchable, or making this text so cheap and easy that anyone can use it. It's about preserving our entire cultural heritage, really.
And that last point is so important. This might be one of OCR's most profound missions yet. Did you know that thousands of the world's languages are in danger of disappearing completely? OCR gives us a powerful tool to digitize ancient texts, records, and stories in these languages. It's a way to help preserve that priceless cultural knowledge before it's lost for good.
So, when you think about it, these digital eyes are just getting better and better. They're learning to read everything from a 4,000-year-old manuscript to a tiny bit of text on a product whizzing by on a conveyor belt. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As these machines get even better at reading our world, what are they going to help us discover next?